Cheese! Cheese! What? Freeze! A freeze!
One of the most beloved personalities in the world is none other than the world-famous Chinese movie star Jackie Chan. With his death-defying maneuvers and distinctive brand of funny martial arts, this beloved actor has long had fans on the edge of their seats. Jackie Chan has continued to astound and excite spectators with his inventive stunts, including sliding down a 21-story building without a harness and fighting off opponents using only a toilet seat.
You just like grab like this, then I just boom, ow.
He didn't become an A-list celebrity in Hollywood just by having a strong punch, though. His most brutal experiences served as motivation for his never-ending imagination and unlimited enthusiasm in the film industry. By putting in many hours of effort and shattering almost all of his bones, Jackie Chan developed the resiliency and drive that finally helped him succeed. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at Jackie Chan's life and career and how he went from being a victim of bullying to being the acrobatic martial artist who consistently risks his life to keep our attention glued to the screen. Disciplined youth. Parents Charles and Li Chan, who were refugees of the Chinese Civil War, were living in Hong Kong when they welcomed their first and only child, Chan Kong Sang, in 1954. The modest family resided in Hong Kong's Victoria Peak district, which was known for being rather affluent. However, they led a life that was far from being luxurious. While his mother worked as a maid and his father as a chef for the French ambassador, the family resided in servants' accommodations. Jackie was a very active child and was known as Pow Pow, which is Chinese for cannonball. Jackie's father would get him up early and they would practice kung fu together to help him use up his energy. Jackie learned the importance of strength, endurance, and respect from the rigorous training this martial art demanded. But while his martial prowess was beginning to develop, his academic abilities lagged behind. Due to his dyslexia and the fact that his learning disability wasn't addressed back then, he ended up failing his first year of primary school and falling behind. However, his father enrolled him at the China Drama Academy, a Peking opera school, because of his great potential in kung fu. Jackie recalled firmly holding his father's hand as they entered the stuffy hallways of the school. But when he saw numerous children playing with swords and sticks and doing backflips, his panic vanished. He swiftly released his father's hand as he reached for the robes of his new master, called Yu Yun. But the illusion eventually faded, and the academy's true colors started to emerge. In this very competitive environment, training would go on for 18 to 19 hours each day, and if a student was caught slacking off, they would be starved and whipped. On top of the other training sessions, the other kids tormented Jackie because he was obviously terrified of them. This continued until he finally intervened to stop the bullying of yet another student. His selfless deed stopped his suffering, and Jackie learned the value of helping others as a result. Jackie mastered singing, acting, acrobatics, martial arts, and other skills over the course of the 10 years he spent at the academy. Small child with big dreams. Jackie's parents moved to Australia to work with the American Embassy, and thus, although Jackie was only 7 at the time, he was left in Hong Kong alone to continue his studies. Later, Jackie would admit that the reason for his mother and father moving to Australia was that his father was actually working as a spy and needed to go into hiding. When he was 8, Jackie joined a group at the academy called 7 Little Fortunes, which offered the opportunity for students to be used as extras in Chinese films. Jackie was really enthusiastic about performing, so he tried his best while he performed his roles. A Taiwanese actress who portrayed his mother in one of these films grew fond of Jackie and asked him to star in her future films. Even though his master was taking all of his income, Jackie was overjoyed and started to have dreams of being a well-known actor. At age 17, Jackie received his diploma and kept working as a stuntman and extra in many Chinese projects. Jackie continued to pursue his goal of being famous by working on numerous movies. While some of his endeavors were successful, there were some that ended up being a failure. On one occasion, the director even dismissed him as useless. Jackie, however, put in more training hours than anyone else, and he continued focusing on being the best. He stayed up until 4 a.m. perfecting his routines in the mirror while everyone else slept. He kept telling himself to not give up and keep hoping that he'll find success someday. His efforts started to pay off gradually. With his seemingly reckless jumps and falls, Jackie was getting attention in the field and swiftly earning a reputation for being ready to and capable of performing life-threatening stunts. In reality, before every risky stunt, Jackie was very afraid. But he saw it as an opportunity to stand out from the crowd, because there was nobody else doing it back then, and he eventually succeeded. Trial and error. He was hired in 1971 to perform as a stunt double for movies starring the movie legend Bruce Lee. As he watched from behind the lens, Jackie was awestruck by Lee's lightning-quick strikes. Bruce unintentionally struck Jackie in the head with a stick once during filming. The young actor remembered using the chance to appear as though he was in immense pain in an effort to hold Bruce's attention for as long as possible. Due to this incident, the two started talking, and Bruce warmed up to Jackie and taught him some of his own moves. Following the death of Bruce Lee in 1973, Jackie landed his first leading role in Little Tiger of Canton. But the movie's limited distribution led to low viewership. So by now, Jackie was having problems finding stunt work and was still a long way from being a Hollywood star. He ended up taking some time off from acting and traveled to Canterbury, Australia to be with his parents. There, he took a brief English course at Dickinson College and was hired for a job in construction. When he was asked for his English name, he replied with Jack, because that was the name of a man that was standing next to him. Some years later, he modified it to Jackie, giving rise to the nickname that is now universally adored. Finding success his own way. Jackie Chan, then 21 years old, returned to Hong Kong to appear in the Lo Wei-directed film New Fists of Fury. His prior stunt work had slowly but surely been recognized, and the rising star was now appearing in numerous kung fu films. Every one of them was a fail. Frustrated and dejected, Jackie was pushed to reconsider his course of action. He made the decision that he didn't want to be the next Bruce Lee, but the first Jackie Chan. In light of this, Jackie looked for a way to stand out. He thought back to his comedic icons from his youth, such as Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton. He figured that maybe the audience would enjoy if he took humor and implemented it to the typically serious field of martial arts. He got inspiration from his early combat experiences, when hitting others was painful and being afraid was normal. Jackie made the action-packed situations funny by incorporating realistic characteristics. This led to the creation of the comedic kung fu subgenre. His breakthrough finally arrived in 1978 with the movie Snake and Eagle's Shadow and with Drunken Master, which followed shortly after. Both of these movies were very dangerous to film, so much so that with the first one, Jackie knocked out a tooth, and with the second, he nearly lost his vision. But despite his cuts and bruises, Jackie was appreciative of the creative liberties granted to him in his employment. Together with the director, he put in a lot of effort to strike a balance between slapstick humor and serious martial arts. This innovative outlook led to a new approach to kung fu movies, which swiftly propelled Jackie to prominence. His first film as a director, The Fearless Hyena, followed in 1979, and he was a great hit. He then broke his earlier contract with Lo Wei by signing on with a different production company. Wei, however, sent a crime organization called Triads to threaten Jackie because she wasn't willing to give him up. Soon, Jackie's daily existence was starting to be badly affected. He was terrified for his life when he was shot at when he was getting off a flight, or when he was swarmed by 20 gang members at a restaurant. A dream come true. But because by this time Jackie Chan was the highest paid actor in Hong Kong and was well known throughout Asia, he became too famous to be affected by the triad. Jackie had complete creative control over his films in the 1980s thanks to his fame. More than anybody else on the set, he took on duties like directing and theme song singing. And although he was already successful, he still wanted to break into Hollywood. So his production business flew into the United States that same year to try his chances in the Hollywood movie, The Big Brawl. However, it didn't get any recognition, and unfortunately, this was his fate of all the movies he was in while living there. So since he was having no luck in the United States because of his poor English, he went back to Hong Kong and began producing and directing his own films. He opened a school for eager beginners and personally trained them, making him the youngest person to take on the role of stunt coordinator. In the end, his groundbreaking stunt techniques established a new bar for Chinese films, which to this day credit Jackie Chan's inventive strategies for their international success. More than 10 years later, he returned to the States, undeterred in his quest to become a global superstar. His performance in Rumble in the Bronx in 1995 served as a gateway into the hearts of the American public. Interestingly, during the shoot, he broke his ankle, but it didn't seem like much, since he had already broken his nose, cheekbones, finger, knee, shoulder, chin, dislocated his pelvis, and cracked his head before. Since then, Jackie Chan has acted in a great number of box office success that have ultimately elevated him to the Hollywood A-list. From Rush Hour to Kung Fu Panda, his roles have kept audiences entertained throughout the years. Jackie can't help but smile as he recalls his strict upbringing and several film flops. He doesn't have any regrets because all of his struggles in some way motivated him to change his perspective and put in even more efforts. And his efforts ultimately paid off indeed. Jackie is not only loved by the public, but his talent has been recognized by the Hollywood Academy, when he was awarded an honorary Oscar in 2016. In his speech, he said,
"After 56 years film industry, making more than 200 films, I break so many bones. Finally, this is mine."
Jackie Chan has always kept challenging himself, despite the fact that at first he had a very hard time communicating in English or speaking in public. Today, he is a global superstar who speaks 7 languages, donates millions of dollars to charitable organizations, and strives to do one good thing every day. He encourages others to not let circumstances get in the way of your dreams, and instead keep going forward until you reach your goals. Jackie Chan's story is the perfect example that having the right mindset and putting in the work will always pay off. We hope this story got you inspired, and for more videos like this, like and subscribe to our channel.